try to taste you in trouble. I try to taste you in trouble. Try to taste you in trouble. Try to taste you in trouble. Try to tell you in trouble. I try to tell you in trouble.
Real queen of the hustle, big facts like muscle. Sit back, kick back, relax, no need to tussle. She trouble, she gon' deliver just what you need on the double. So many topics to change the speed, tried to warn them. Now she gon' give them the peace. Put it in your ear, listen and wait and see. So unique with the subject, some might get upset. Most gon' love this, I promise you gon' love this.
Try to taste you in trouble. I try to taste you.
Hey, what's up, world? It's your girl Miko from I Told You I Was Trouble. And today I have this lovely lady on the show, Tara. What's up, girl? Welcome to I Told You I Was Trouble.
Thank you so much for having me here. Hey, y'all.
Of course,
hey,
of
world.
course. You know, you're a Capricorn, so you know the creative energy and the love, you know.
The big energy, the big goat energy.
Yes,
in here.
you know, come on. They really be trying us.
Oh yeah,
They
they
really
do. But,
do.
you know, they try.
They try.
The word is try.
Yeah.
Try. Not hard enough.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into the show. Give me a little bit about where you from, where'd you grow up?
Okay, well, my name is Tara James. I'm originally from Austin, Texas, so I always say that first because Southern hospitality rocks.
Yes.
I'm definitely from the South. My family stays out there. But I moved to Rancho Cucamonga when I was 10, so I was raised in Rancho.
Okay.
I'm a Cali girl. I'm 30. So I was raised in Rancho by my mother. I was raised with my older sister and younger brother, so I'm the middle rebellious child.
Yeah. My mom,
Yes,
my
so that's-
mom's the middle child, and she is very much,
So cute.
yeah, she's very much that lady. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's
y'all bad. I'm the
girl.
oldest, so you know, I'm my mom's secretary and all that too.
right. I mean, I always say that I'm the middle child, but I was also the oldest too, because there was daddy's girl, which my sister definitely is,
Okay.
and then mommy's boy, brothers was. So I was just the rebel in the middle. Nobody really cared about. But then when it came to taking care of business, especially when my mom got sick, it was all on me. So I've always felt like the older sister, but now I'm gonna let her have that.
Yeah, let her have
I
it.
have.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So
It is a lot.
you are creative. I'm not going to put you in a box and say what kind you are. You're just a creative person in my eyes. So who was the first person besides yourself? Like, who was it? A family member or a friend who noticed the creativity in you?
You know, I think that's a great question. I wouldn't say necessarily notice, but really harness the creative energy in me is my mother.
Okay.
My mother was very creative. She was a woman who wore many hats and succeeded and excelled when putting those hats on in every role that she stepped foot into. She was a clothing designer. She was a radiologist, a real estate agent. She was an educator. So she's done so much. She was a community leader, a person in the community, you know, who was loved and well respected. So my mother, she loved on us. She introduced us. I mean, also my dad too. You know, he's a doctor, and so obviously he always says that he's creative as well in his own right. But both of them specifically were African art collectors.
Oh.
So I grew up full of African art. You
Awesome.
know, so I grew up around and just these huge organic masks. So yeah, I will credit my mother. You know, my mother has always exposed us to different cultures and different, you know, she's always kept us in different experiences and in different groups. So definitely my mom,
Awesome.
you know, and
I love that. I love that. Mother's love, man. Mother's love. So how old were you when you really started to take your art serious?
Oh God, it wasn't that long ago. 7 years ago,
Really?
honestly. I had my son, and I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life, and I was broke, and I was like, something has to change.
Oh man.
You know, he was actually 6 months. I went to Texas to visit my dad. Me and his father were going through problems, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I have to do something that makes me happy. At the time, I think I was just working like just jobs to just get money. I was probably like operations manager for an IT company at the time. But I just needed something that would fulfill my heart. So I started thinking about, like what makes me happy. And I've always loved greeting cards. So yeah, I started off with a design because again, I needed money for my child.
Right.
And I was in Texas, designed a couple of cards, came back out here to Leimert Park, sold them, and then that was all she wrote.
Wow. How crazy. I love that. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's really dope. Like, you know, when you got to get that hustle mentality on, you like, I'm going to dig in this bag real quick. And, you know.
Actually, I was operations manager. I was working, sorry to cut you off, at the Pasadena Playhouse. I remember because I was pregnant. I remember I was doing, oh God, yes, you're taking me back, because I was doing, what are those temporary jobs? And I had a temp job in Pasadena at a law office as a receptionist. I got hired knowing I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had worn like a dress and stuff to interview.
Right.
And then like when I got hired on, I popped out. And they're like, oh, you were pregnant? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm damn near you.
Wait, girl, because my mama did the same thing. My mom did the same thing. Like,
y'all can't fire.
Look, she literally did the same thing. She was like, those people were so mad. But she was already hired. Like, what you gonna do?
That's a lawsuit. So we gonna be straight for the rest of our life.
And look,
lose your battles.
Do you want those problems?
Yeah, but then eventually I let it go. And then my homegirl asked me if she was working at the Pasadena Playhouse. And I remember she hit me up and she was like, hey, do you know anything about Adobe InDesign? And I was like, of course I do. Clearly lying. And then she was like, we have that position available. So I got off the phone with her, did everything I can to learn Adobe InDesign while I was pregnant. And then that's when I transitioned into the program designer role for Pasadena Playhouse. Then had my son, was still broke, still needed to come up with something. And then I started the greeting program. So yeah.
Look at that.
Broke.
Okay, you know I love personally supporting Black businesses and number one, Black owned women companies. How did you feel, like, because that's your business, like, how did you feel like when it all set in, like, yo, this is my name, this is my work, this is all me, like, there's no your name and then somebody under your name or above your name, like, this is 100% your business. Like, does that dawn on you? What's that feeling?
Oh, that's a good one too. You know what? It continues to dawn on me, and it continues to hit me, and I'm continually reminded by those who do support me, like yourself, and those who do love on me and support me like my best friends. They're constantly reminding me of my gifts. Mm-hmm. So I think very recently because I've been in denial for a very long time, honestly, because everything is self-taught,
right?
And you're thinking about it, and I'm in California, and you know, in LA, there's so many talented everything out here. So it's easy to compare yourself to other people. It's easy to compare yourself to other people in your age group or just whatever doing the same thing. So I think I was stuck there for a minute and kind of just like in doubt, like, damn, like imposter syndrome. Like, damn, I didn't know it's me. So it's only those moments where I'm actually getting cards printed, mm-hmm. and I'm having to like cards myself and stuff. And when I look at them, like, yo, what? Like, I did this. This shit is hard. You know what I mean? I'm off like a 2-year designing hiatus, meaning I was still. I'm sorry, Hazel. Hold on, give me. My dog is just like whining. But I was on it, like I was still creating, but it wasn't the greeting cards. Mm-hmm. So just very recently, the last 2 weeks, I've been so excited and motivated to create. So I've been looking at the stuff I'm creating. So now I'm in my bag. Now I'm like, yo, fuck that. Like, do you know who you are?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, do you know what brand or what you've done to the Black greeting card space? You know what I mean? Like, and now I believe in the most humble way possible, because I've earned it and I do deserve it. Almost going on 10 years in this greeting card space and still here 7 years without working any other jobs. You know what I mean? Yes, it has, but I'm here and I'm still designing and it hasn't gone anywhere. I'm still excited to continue to create and make people feel good and remember the things that we grew up on and stuff. So now I'm in my bag. Now I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm her. I'm that girl. Now it's like, the greeting card line.
Let's
I'm your favorite's favorite.
come on.
You know what I
Come
mean?
on. You know what? Look.
And I think it's okay for me to be there. And again, humbly, I own this shit because I love doing
Yeah.
this. Genuinely, I love creating, and you can see it in my work. So now I'm claiming it. In the beginning, I feel like I was mad iffy, and that's what probably led to my journey of just kind of been like, it's just a little stagnant, but just not so full. Now, take all that away. Like, I am her.
Yeah.
This is what I
Come
do.
on
And I do.
now. Come on now. Okay, that kind of leads me into my next question. How do you, like you just mentioned, you were in a block. How do you get out of that creative block? Like what, like snapped you into it? Snapped you out of it, not
So,
into it, but
God.
out of it.
God. It was all God. It was being obedient.
Mhm.
Honestly, it was asking him, her, or they to order my steps, and genuinely wanting to just kind of go back to the beginning. What created the writer's block, or the creative block period, is like, this is my heart, this is my love, this is my passion, art, but it's also how I make money.
Right.
So sometimes when I'm creating, if you know what I mean, like sometimes I have to create to make money, not create because I genuinely love creating.
Right.
And that's what caused the rift. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, this is my love, but I'm having to stretch it out, and I'm pulling from places that I don't have. So that's what really kind of killed it. But so I stopped. I had no choice but to give up.
Right.
You know what I mean? I kind of gave up, and not fully, because when the ideas did come up, like I still produced them, but it wasn't as much as it was in the beginning. So I just allowed myself to wander into the other things that I love to do that also fed my
Right.
soul and made me happy. Crafting. Like, I love arts and crafts. So it's not just specifically working with paper. It's mixed media. It's wood.
Yeah.
It's resin. It's all other things. You know what I mean? So finding love in that, and then wanting to share that with other people. When I created my second business, the Black Crafts Room, where I teach arts and craft classes to people, and I also offer like arts and crafts kits. So that for me is filling my soul.
Right.
I did
Because you're
that.
teaching.
Then, right, I'm teaching, and I'm teaching what I love to do, and I still get to experiment and stuff. And it's not so much like, oh, I have to do this to make money,
Right.
you know? And then I got back into what raised me. And I was born in Austin, Texas. I was born Southern Baptist. I was in a church 8 days a week, 25 hours
Oh
a
yeah,
day
you were
because
there.
of my mother. So I was in there. I was a part of all the programs, all the ministry programs, you know. Although I've gone out on my other, like my own, and spirituality for me looks different than how I was
Mhm.
raised. I felt like Christ, Spirit, God was pulling me back. You know what I mean? There
Yeah.
was something that was something empty in my spirit, in my soul. It was something that even arts and crafts wasn't filling it, and I didn't understand what it was. You know what I mean? So I just started listening to my little gospel music again, and I just started like, and I felt like, oh, this makes me feel good. You know what I mean? Having conversations with God and creating that, and saying, hey, God, this is what I want. I'm not going to give up, because I also have people in my ear saying, yeah, you did it, but now it's
Yeah,
time
like
to,
it's a
give
fad.
up.
It was, it was good while it lasted. Yeah.
And it was the point where I had to tell my dad one day, like, this was only 3 weeks ago, because I was still looking for jobs. Like, my finances aren't up there. You know what I mean? But I had to tell him, I was like, listen, I'm looking for a job because I need to pay bills. But understand that this is only temporary.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because once I get caught up, baby, by Miss James, the Black Crafts Room is my goal. This is what I want to do with my
Right.
life. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what path, what it takes to get there. I'm going to make it happen. I just told my father that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So really into the life and speaking that into the universe, and just kind of really asking God for that joy of creating again.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, girl, it happened. And when I tell you like this, I'm going to show you this really quickly. I don't know if we're doing this. This video just came out this morning.
Okay.
That Kendrick
Yeah. I already want.
You know,
Yeah.
downloads and creating like this.
Yeah.
So I credit my block. I credit getting over this block honestly to God. And I'm so thankful. And people keep asking me about this, and be like, "Girl, God bless me." I went to a Kirk Franklin concert.
Kirk will do it though. Look, Kirk will do it. People can say what they want about Kirk Franklin, but Kirk will do it.
It was Kirk Franklin. Listen, I was up there hollering and
Wait,
crying,
was it
and
the
it was
reunion
so
tour?
tour, the last one in Inglewood. Me and my homegirls.
Look,
I don't go to no clubs. I ain't on no date nights. Listen, I want to be in front of God because please order my steps.
order my
This world is
steps.
getting weird.
Look,
You know what I mean? The world is getting weird, and I want to solidify my place in this space of what I'm supposed to do, and I genuinely want to help people.
yes,
So how can I help people?
yes,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Now he's showing me like it's not over for you, and I'm thankful for that. And I believe that the reason why he showed me that is to tell people, like, listen, the world is being very weird right now. Tap into source.
yeah.
Find source. Find what makes you happy, and then I'll do the rest.
Look, amen to that. Amen to
Yes, that was a very
that.
long there, but girl, listen. I've been listening to that new Kendrick. I've been listening to that new Nudie, and I've been listening to the Mass Choirs. I've been listening to the Clark Sisters and Kirk Franklin. The balance is
Look,
balancing.
and
Okay,
it has to. Honestly, I was just telling my friend the other day, I worked this Toby Mac concert the other day, like what, Thursday, Friday, something. And it wasn't the traditional gospel music I listened to, but he had this song, girl. By the second verse, I was like, okay, wait. Because he was a little bit on this side. But I said, you know what, that song was speaking to me. That's not my typical music I go to, but that song, it had the rhythm to it, and it had it going, and it really was speaking to me at that moment. Like, Miko, you just gotta believe. You just have to believe, Miko. Like, you just have to believe.
And that's it. And
that's all God asks you to do is believe in him and trust him. So,
and then you know what? I've gone through so many things these last couple months relating to death.
Mhm.
Like, I've had very firsthand experiences, 3 major experiences with death. And this last one, the last one, which was a car accident,
oof.
My neighbors, there's a drunk guy flew into my neighbor's apartment. You know what I mean? It just so happened, this is at 6 a.m. So many things. And it just so happens that I was up, you know what I mean? Like, I ran outside and I was able to hop into the window and help the driver out and help the 2 people out of their apartment. You know what I mean? But there's so many things in that moment that I cannot stop thinking about. And I think for me, God was showing me like, hey, death is always guaranteed and certain. But listen, believe I have faith.
Right.
You know what I mean? Believe and have faith that I'm all like, because nobody got hurt in that accident. Nobody died.
Amen.
Nobody died. The car went through their entire apartment. The son was on his way to the living room. The mama was on her way to the living room. Where they would have gone. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
If the guy, he normally drives a bigger truck. If he would have been driving his bigger truck that day, he would have hit my neighbor's house. And they have kids. So many things could have
trickled
happened.
down and just, wow. Woo.
You know what I mean? So for me, it was like God was saying, like, girl, believe I got this.
Yes.
Wow. I'm a miracle worker. You know what I mean? Like, it in the most tragic moments, like, I'm a miracle worker. It's almost like there was a shield protecting everybody in that home.
Yeah,
from
it
chaos.
really was, because that could have been really bad.
I got you. Let me get you. And I'm like, and ever since then, I've been good in this space.
Wow.
And I'm confident and I stare and I've just been trying to be obedient. So that's all. That's how I got it.
Come on now.
So yes. Absolutely.
Come on now. So I know. Look, come on now. Oh, girl. Because we'll talk about it another day. But okay, so I know you do a lot of like community events where it's a lot of other Black sellers. I purchased stuff from you many times, and then we just met at a Black like yeah. I knew your face, but it was just like, oh my God, you have a whole body. I just see your face. And it was good to see you. It was good to hug you. Like, oh my God, like I'm always purchasing cars, so it was finally good to like get the car from your actual hand and have the conversation with you. How important is that to do these community events with all these other Black creators and in this Black space?
I mean, I think it's very important. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm getting tired. Sometimes I get really tired because I've done so many events. Okay, like I I've got to understand, I've been here for 7 years in this space, and I don't say no to no
Yeah.
favors, okay? So I try and go to every event, and then my setup now has grown. I've started off with just a table, and I'm in a 10 by 10 mini store, and it literally looks like a store now. So I'm having a, I have, I'm nailing and screwing stuff in at the beginning of events. So it's tiring,
Yeah.
honestly, but I love showing my face to the community. I love hugging on other people. I love talking to y'all. I love embracing you guys. I love have conversations. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
thrive with some partners. And I think that's really important is connection. I love community. I love connection. If it weren't for my community that I've built on Instagram and social media and just really behind this brand, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have this brand. So therefore, I think it's important for you to show face. I think
Yeah.
it's important for you to be thankful and appreciative and also show that you're human. I'm touchable. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I ain't that.
Right. Don't touch me too
Don't
much
trip.
now. A little
I'm
pound is good enough.
human. Rather, I'm human. I'm human. I would love for my brand to continue to grow as it is. And while it grows and while we get more audience and while I bring more people on this team, I want people to know I'm just like you, baby
Yeah.
girl, baby boy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, King? We're human.
Yeah.
Like there ain't nothing special about me. So that means in my eyes, not to say there's nothing special about me because I'm very special. But what that means to me is that if you have a dream, if you have any idea, do it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Because what's up, girl?
Yeah.
Same type of person.
Yep.
So I think it's very. I love popping out. I think it's just getting tiring because I don't have a team
Right.
yet, and it's
Well, you know
exhausting.
what? We're gonna put that in the favor too. We're gonna put that in that.
Yeah,
We're
for
gonna
sure.
put that out there too.
Listen,
We're gonna put that out there too.
oh girl,
For sure.
crazy.
So a few months ago, you had your first what is it, like a needle? So what made you want to
Yeah.
do that? Because I'm like, I can get frustrated with people when they ain't doing it like I told them to do it. So for you to have that patience, but you love it. So what made you want to do that? Like, what popped in your head? Like, you know what? I want to teach a class on how to do this.
Well, because I have so many things that I do. I am ADHD. I was diagnosed as in the youth, as a child, and then again as an adult.
Okay.
So my brain has just a lot of things that it wants to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think sometimes I get caught up, especially having a business. It's like, girl, everything you make doesn't have to be for sale.
Right.
You know? So when it comes to my more hand-on pieces like cards, prints, art, that's easy. That's digital. That's to send it to a printer.
Right.
They can print out a trillion
Right.
real quick. Other things that I love doing, it's limited because I'm doing them by myself.
Right.
I don't have a huge, you know what I mean, warehouse or manufacturer. There's not a lot of hands doing it. So because of that, I can't produce a lot. So, but I still love to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And people still have interest and they want to learn it. Like it always starts around these months when I'm home by myself. My baby is at his daddy house. My family's all scattered around, and I'm bored and low-key scrolling social media, and I'm just like, I could do that. Like now I'm telling myself, I'm scrolling social media. I'm like, girl, you don't need another hobby. You don't need another hobby. You know what I mean? So I'll just try to scroll real fast.
Like, I didn't see it.
Yeah, if I see it, I'm just like, oh, that shit is fire. You know what I mean? I'm just like, but my thing is, that shit is fire. It's not, I want one. It's like, I want to learn how to make that. Or, oh, I can make that. I can do that. So that's the I can do that things has turned me into a monster with my arts and crafts. And I just rather, instead of making it and forcing people to buy it, it's like, girl, let me teach you how to make it. Come to this class.
And then that brings community together. That brings conversation. That's a date night. That's a girls' night. Like, come on, let's get out and let's entertain each other.
Something different. I don't like going to the club. Like I said, I'm 38. I'm just, oh God, I'd rather buy a bottle and go to the living room and pop it.
You and me both.
Like, that's it. But sometimes I do want to pop out. And I want to go somewhere where I don't feel like I have to dress to the nines or spend a so what does that look like for me? And what, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I would love arts and crafts, but I'm not a painter. So I don't want to do a painting sip all the time. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you switch it up? Like, why don't we switch it up and do something different? Like, I want to offer, like, I'm going to be offering like a DIY domino course. We do DIY coaster sets, which are really good. Like these right here, you know. So it's just really fun, and then also from these crafts, you might find another hobby.
Yeah.
And again, and in this world, in this day and age, I am trying to tell everybody get a hobby. Look, get a hobby and zone out. Don't be paying attention to none of this.
Yeah,
and also hobbies lead to extra time.
Yeah, I get it, girl. I'm already like 4 years. 4 years.
Like,
let me find
4 years.
Nothing
at all.
I got it.
I'm not even.
Look,
because you have to protect your.
Oh yeah,
and how
definitely,
else can you
definitely.
You know,
definitely have to protect.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want to get on protecting peace because I'm like,
listen. So these are all tools. I'm just trying to offer tools for people to, you know, just live life a bit, because death is guaranteed.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to help people live life a little bit more fuller. Yeah. If that's what you feel like, you know,
and just be happy. You know, like you have to find things to be happy in. It's a real cold world,
and it is. Pick your find your peace.
Find your peace. Something in life makes you happy. Something. It may. I feel like people have dark days, and it's gonna happen. But it's so many things. Like I crack myself up. Like I don't even really need conversation. I find stuff and just be rolling. Like yeah,
child. I'll be over here.
Look, I'm the funniest person I know.
Sure, me too, girl. We should meet each other. And I think that's just really important. That's all. So I love teaching, and like I said, I'm patient. You know, I get it from my mother, and I didn't realize how much I get things, how many things I've gotten from her. But she was a leader. She's a teacher. Yeah. She was very patient. She always welcomed people, random motherfuckers in our house. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love that. It's just a part of me giving back. At one point in my life, I thought I was able to. I had to go to medical school. I was majoring in biology when I went to TSU because I thought I had to be a doctor to help people.
No.
And I was like, I want to party because the parties out there were crazy. But I was like, I don't have to become a doctor to help people. So this is just a part of that, a portion of my, you know, community and giving.
Yeah. So you know, how would you describe your designing style? What's your like? Because when I look at all your stuff, it's different. Like, or do you just not put a title on it?
You know, I actually I have my own. I've been blessed to be able to design my own style.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that started off with because again, it took me a very long time. I maybe even started barely calling myself a real artist, like maybe last year or 2 years ago. Because this started off me drawing. I used to always call it, I'm a doodler. Okay. You know, I started off literally younger, going to clubs, going out to eat afterwards, and I'm the only person at the table asking for pen. And I'm drawing all over the place. Like I'm drawing on everybody's napkins and shit, just doodling. Yeah. And I don't know, it just thing. I just realized I started doodling, and then these doodles became characters, and these characters became, you know, things. But I'm inspired by Black people. Yeah. I'm inspired by our culture, you know, our history, our past, our present, our resilience.
I mean, we're creative. You know what I mean? We are creative people. Yeah. Like they gave us scraps, and we just turned it into magic and beauty, and so we're just, yeah, I get it. I 100% get it.
I think I'm just in awe by us. I'm in awe by Richard Wright is one of my favorite authors. I read a lot of Black author books.
Me too.
And especially from the back in the day, the Renaissance, Harlem Renaissance period is one of my favorite periods for arts and for literature. Yeah. So I get a lot of my wanting to tell our story through them, from them. You know what I mean? So that's essentially what it is. My style is it's just I couldn't draw hands and feet for a long time. So in some of my earlier pieces, you'll see people without hands and feet. You know what I mean? I couldn't draw eyeballs. I still can't, you know? So I ended up That's why if you look at my work, I only have slits, like their eyes are closed. You know what I mean? So if they're happy, their eyes are closed, or maybe it's upwards, but they're still closed. And very recently, I started drawing them with like 2 circles, you know, because again, I can't draw eyes.
Right.
And that's
That
it.
is
I
too
mean, it's a
funny.
mix between blackness, futurism, doodling, stick art, and, you know, just.
Yeah, I love it all. I love it all.
Thank you.
So my last question for you is, where do you see your business in 5 years?
Oh God, you know, that is a really great question. Is the world going to be here in 5 years? We don't know. But
because the water. Oh my God.
But yeah. So, you know, that's a great question. In 5 years, by Miss James and the Black Craftsroom will have a home. I will have a community center and an events in a space to where I can house the creative artsy craft side of me, where I can continue to work on my crafts and also teach others by hosting arts and craft classes and workshops and special events. And have just like an open studio for those who might not have a studio available.
Oh yeah.
And then on the next side, I will have like a full blown retail store with everything I create being sold in this retail store. And I will also like to introduce local and, you know, young Black makers who are trying to get a start in some of their products in my store.
Awesome.
As well.
I love
so
that.
So we can be.
I love it. And I want to be here for all of it. I want to be here for all of it. Yeah. So before I let you go, I have to give you your flowers. I think you're a lovely person. I love that you're creative. I can't tell you. It must have been very last minute that I'll just buy a greeting card. But as soon as somebody's birthday come up, I'm like, oh, wait. I know where I got to go, because I want the person I'm giving this card to for it to look like them. You know what I mean?
Important.
I bought cards for my brother's graduation from you. My friend just had a baby shower the other day. I had to get her, you missed your period, congratulations. I think that card is hilarious. Yes. And I can't wait. Look, pray the Lord I get pregnant soon, because I'm going to tell somebody to buy it for me. But any other of my friends get pregnant, y'all are getting you missed your period, congratulations. I love that damn card. It tickles me. I love the Jerome Rome Grinch card. I bought that card so many times. I know somebody like, girl, you gave me this card last year. I love Martin, who don't like the Grinch. Come on. I want to give you your flowers. I think you're awesome. I love the relationship you and your son have. I love that you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it. So, you know I stay in your inbox. You know I'm like, oh wait. And I was so happy you came out with pens and pencils. I was like, oh my God. My husband's like, you don't need any more pens and pencils. I'm like, leave me alone, because I'm finna support her, and she got pencils now. So, leave me alone.
You so much.
Girl, you know.
Thank you.
You know, every time you drop, I'm like, I said, well, let me put this in the cart. Look, I'm broke right now, but I'll be putting it in my calendar when you get paid.
Yeah, not my cheeks.
No, girl, because we have to support each other. We just have to. You know, and you can't be afraid to tell another woman, like, yo, I like what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. There's no reason for me to hate on your stuff. It's good. It's great. It's us. I want to see a card not made by the other companies that probably ain't got but one of us in the office anyways. I want to know that I know the person who made this, and she cool. My stuff come on time, and ain't no issue. Like, come on. Why wouldn't I support somebody who would stand on their business? I'm just saying.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much for doing the show. I appreciate what you do. If ain't nobody told you today, I'm going to tell you. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate the work you're doing out here, girl.
I appreciate
and you stay blessed, and we're going to stay prayed up.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Come on. God is good,
God
child.
is good. He really is. He really
I'm
is.
so
Because I'll
serious.
be really like, damn, how? Oh, God. And then something will happen. I'm like, oh, okay.
And
Thank you, God.
And moments, not the good ones. All of them, the bad ones. Like, oh, I only made $20 today. I wanted to make $100.
Look.
But thank you, God.
Look. But thank you so much.
Thank you. I
You have an
appreciate you. Thank you
amazing
so much
day.
for
And look, we in this thing. Come on now. 2025 is gonna do something for us for the year. Okay. All right, girl.
Girl.
Thank you so much.
Good one.
Have a great
You
one.
too. Bye.